Annalise Midgley.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I'd like to draw attention to my members' register of interest, both my membership and financial support from the trade union movement. I stand here as a proud trade unionist with a couple of decades of work behind me of standing up for the working class. And I would like to pay the truest of tributes to my right honourable friend from Ashton under Lyne and my honourable friend from Ellesmere Port and Bromborough.
Thank you very much for giving way. I think you're absolutely right with regard to some honourable friends, right honourable friends, the work in which lots of people have done to bring this transformational bill to the Commons. I think we need to mention my honourable friend, the member for Middlesbrough, Thornaby East, for the tremendous work he did as well at the very beginning of this process. It's transformational. Everybody deserves lots of credit here.
Success has many mothers.
I'd like to thank my friend from Blythe and Ashington for his intervention, and I absolutely agree with him in terms of the work that my friend has done on this for over a decade now. This bill brings changes that tip the scale in favour of working people, and taken together with the rest of the New Deal for working people, it amounts to the greatest uplift in workers' rights in our generation. And that is down to the friends that I have just mentioned here today. It is their legacy, and one that will change the lives of millions of working class people for the better. And I know that my friend from Halifax will do a great job of completing this. This for me is personal, Madam Deputy Speaker, because it was my dad's secure, well-paid, unionised job on the production line in Ford's Halewood that gave me a better life than my mum and dad. It lifted us out of poverty and provided us with enough money and stability for a decent home and enough to live a life of dignity on. Everyone should have that, and that is why I will fight for work where people can flourish and thrive, jobs to take pride in, that can provide a good life. And no way would I be here in this place representing the place where I was born and raised if it was not for my dad's job. Madam Deputy Speaker, the Tories, backed by the Lib Dems, in the other place are trying to water down this bill. They are aided and abetted by Reform, who are never in this place to debate this and are consistently voting against this bill. The Lord's bills, some of the Lord's amendments rip out the heart of this bill, and I'm going to speak briefly to Amendments 23, 106 to 220, which would delay protections from unfair dismissal until a worker has been in their job for 6 months. This would mean that a worker can just be dismissed at whim for no reason. How is this okay? How is it defensible? A day one right not to be unfairly dismissed is good for workers and good for businesses. And my friend from Blythe and Ashington spoke about that, and the research from the IPPR and the TUC finding that 73% of employers support giving employees protection from unfair dismissal from day one of employment. The Shadow Minister dismissed the TUC from the dispatch box in that research, but there are 5 million workers that they represent, and everyone else at work. Are they not stakeholders who should be listened to as well? Madam Deputy Speaker, we know good employers up and down the country already live up to the standards that we are setting out in this bill. And today, we need to stop these attempts to water down the Employment Rights Bill, deliver the protections from unfair dismissal our constituents voted for, and make sure we deliver the New Deal for working people in full.